Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Students, you all know that one small chapter was not done. It is the third chapter of your second book, Accounting, Company Accounts and Analysis of Financial Statements. Okay, and inshallah we will do it today. The name of the chapter is Financial Statements of a Company. Okay, so what is the meaning of financial statements? Financial statements are the basic and formal annual reports through which the corporate management communicates financial information to its owners and also the various other external parties such as tax authority, government, employees, investors, etc. Okay, so this financial statements normally refers to the balance sheet which is prepared at the end of accounting period, okay, which is also called as position statement. Second is the statement of profit and loss of a company, and also nowadays cash flow statement is also considered as financial statement of the company. Okay, so now we will see the nature of financial statements. So the first one is recorded facts. Financial statements are prepared on the basis of facts in form of cost data recorded in the accounting books. Okay. So financial statements are prepared on the basis of facts, okay, in form of cost data, okay, which is recorded in the accounting books. So it may record its fact in form of original cost or historical cost, depending upon the transaction. If various accounts such as cash in hand, cash at bank, then trade receivables, fixed asset is taken according to the records or the figures which is recorded in the accounting books. Then other things such as asset purchased at different time and at different prices are put together and shown at cost. Okay, because here we cannot take the market price. We have to take the price at which at what price the assets were bought. Okay, we cannot take the current we cannot take the current financial condition of the concern. Okay, or we cannot take the current value of the asset which is purchased. Okay, next is accounting convention. See, certain accounting conventions are followed while preparing financial statements. Okay, the conventions of valuing inventory at cost or market price, whichever is low. Okay, so the value of valuing the inventory is at cost, whichever is low. So for example, if the market price is low, then you will have to take market price into consideration, and if the value is low, then that has to be value of inventory is low, then that has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so whichever is low has to be taken into consideration. So the valuing of asset at cost less depreciation principle for balance sheet purpose is followed. Okay, so once you take the value of the asset, from that the depreciation has to be deducted. Okay, so the convention of materiality is followed in dealing with small items such as pencils, pens, then postage stamps, etc. So these items are traded as expenditure, or these items are treated as expenditure in the year in which they are purchased, even though they are assets in nature. Why? Because these items are very small. The amount what you pay for this is very small. Okay, so these items are treated as expenditure in the year when it is purchased. See, the stationery is valued at cost and not on the principle of cost or market price. So here the stationery is valued at cost and not on the principle of cost or market price. So whatever is less is taken into consideration. Next is assumptions. Okay, postulates. Okay, which is the assumption. See, financial statements are prepared on certain basis, or on certain basic assumptions. Okay, or which is called as postulates, such as going concern postulate, money measurement, then realization, etc. Okay, so going concern postulate assumes that the enterprise is treated as a going concern and exists for a long period of time. So the assets are shown on historical cost basis. Okay, so money measurement postulate assumes that the value of money will remain the same in the different period, and though there is a drastic change in purchasing power of money, the assets purchased at different times will be shown at the amount paid for them. Okay, and see, while preparing statement of profit and loss, the revenue is included in the sales of the year in which the sales was undertaken, even though the sales price may be received over a number of years. Okay, so this assumption is known as realization postulate. Okay, next is personal judgment. Okay, so under more than one circumstance, facts and figures presented through financial statements are based on personal opinion, then estimates and judgments. See, the depreciation is provided, taken into consideration the useful economic life of fixed assets. Then provision for doubtful debts are made on estimates and personal judgments. Okay, so in valuing inventory, cost or market value, whichever is less is being followed. See, while deciding either cost of inventory or market value of inventory, many personal judgments are to be made based on certain considerations. See, personal opinion, judgment and estimates are made while preparing the financial statement to avoid any possibilities of overstatement of assets or overvaluing of assets and liabilities, then income and expenditure. So this has to be kept in mind when you take into consideration the conventions of conservatism. Okay. Okay, so next we will see the objectives of financial statements. See, the financial statements are the basic source of information to the shareholders and other external parties, which I've told you already, such as tax authority, government, employees, investors, etc. Okay, and this financial statement is prepared for the understanding the profitability and financial position of any business concern. Okay, so they provide information about the results of the business concern during a specific period of time in terms of assets and liability, which provides the basis for taking decisions. Thus, the primary objective of financial statement is to assist the user in their decision making. Okay, so we will see what are the actual or what are the objectives of financial statements. So first is to provide information about economic resources and obligations of a business. Okay, so this is the first objective of financial statement. Second is to provide information about the earning capacity of the business. See, this financial statement provide useful financial information which can gainfully be utilized to predict, compare and evaluate the business firm's earning capacity. Okay, and third is to provide information about cash flows. Okay, so the third objective, the first objective I have told you, it is to provide information about economic resources and obligation of a business. Second is to provide information about the earning capacity of the business, and third is to provide information about cash flows. See, they are to provide information useful to investors and creditors for predicting, then for comparing and evaluating. Okay, so potential cash flow in terms of amount, timing and related uncertainties. So the third objective is to provide information about cash flows. Okay, and fourth is to judge efficiency of management. Okay, so the fourth objective of financial statement is to provide or to judge the efficiency of management. So this financial statement supply information useful for judging management's ability to utilize the resources for a business efficiently. Okay, and next is fifth one, that is information about activities of business affecting the society. Okay, so fifth one is the information about activities of business affecting the society. So they have to report the activities of the business organization affecting the society, which can be determined and described or measured, and which are important in its social environment. Okay, and lastly, the last one, that is disclosing accounting policies. Okay, so the last objective is disclosing the accounting policies. So these reports have to provide the significant important policies, okay, concept followed in the process of accounting and changes taken up in them during the year to understand this statement in a better way. Okay, next we will see the types of financial statements. Okay, the financial statement generally includes two statements, that is the balance sheet and statement of profit and loss, which are required for external reporting and also for internal needs of the management, like for planning, for decision and control. Okay, so apart from this, there is also a need to know about the movement of funds and changes in the financial position of the company. So for this purpose, a statement of change in financial position of the company or cash flow statement is prepared. Okay, so every company registered under the Company Act of 2013 shall prepare its balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, and also notes to account thereto in the in accordance with the manner prescribed in the revised Schedule 3 to the Company Act 2013. See, in your textbook you have the format of balance sheet. Okay, this is the comparative balance sheet. You can see the balance sheet as at 31st March 2000, the date you have to write there, the year. Okay, then you have altogether 4 columns. The first column is for particulars. It is there in page number 153. First is equity. First column is for particulars. Second is note number. Third is figure has at the end of current reporting period, and last column is for figures as at the end of previous reporting. Yes, here you are going to write at the last column, you are going to write the figures of previous year, and in the third column you are going to write the figure of the current year. Okay, this is how we are going to compare. So in particulars, first you have equity and liability. Okay, first you have equity and liability. So under equity and liability, okay, this is the liability side. Then, okay, under equity and liability, the first thing what you can see is shareholders fund, correct? So what is this shareholders fund? You all know the shareholders funds are classified into 3 parts, that is capital fund, reserves and surplus, and money received against share warrants. Okay, okay, so now we will see what is share capital. So any disclosures related to share capital are to be given in notes to account. So this here you are going to write whatever that is belonging to share capital. So for each classes of shares, recognition of numbers of shares outstanding at the beginning, at the end of the reporting period is required. Okay, and then the rights, preference and restriction attached to each class of shares, including restrictions on the distribution of dividend and repayment of capital. Then in order to bring clarity regarding the identity of ultimate owners of the company. Okay, and under this you have 3 points, that is disclosure of shares in respect of each classes in the company held by its holding company or its ultimate holding company, including shares held by subsidiaries or associates of holding companies or the ultimate holding companies in aggregate. Okay, then also the disclosure of shares in the company held by each shareholders holding more than 5% shares, specifying the number of shares held. Okay, and then disclosure of the following for the period of 5 years immediately preceding the date of the balance sheet. Okay, then you have to note that the information of shareholders fund are presented on the face of financial statement, limited only to the board and significant items. Okay, next you have reserves and surplus. So this reserves and surplus are required to be calculated as capital reserve, then capital redemption reserve, securities premium reserve, then debenture redemption reserve, revaluation reserve, share options outstanding account, other reserves, then surplus. And there are a few things that has to be modified, okay, or the significant additions regarding disclosure of reserves and surplus. Okay, that is given in the textbook. A reserve specially represented by investment shall be termed as fund. Okay, the reserve which is specified, okay, which will be termed as fund. Then the debit balance of statement of profit and loss shall be shown as a negative figure under surplus head. Okay, you have surplus and reserve and surplus. So if there is a debit balance of statement of profit and loss, this will be shown as a negative balance. Okay, you have to deduct it from surplus head. Okay, then the balance of reserves and surplus after adjusting negative balance of surplus, if any, shall be shown under reserve and surplus. Okay, so we will be doing one sum relating to this. Okay, it will be more clear then. Okay, and next is fourth is share options outstanding accounts has been recognized, or which has been recognized as a separate item under reserve and surplus. That is stock option outstanding account. Okay, so this all will come under reserve and surplus. Okay, next you have money received against share warrant. So money received against the share warrant also has to be disclosed as a separate line or has a separate item under shareholders fund. Okay, inshallah we will do the illustration first sum. Okay, it is there in page number 157.